don't think I'm done decorating yet. These different colors, like it's gonna be stunning, I think. I'm excited about this now. Hey there, welcome back to the channel. Like I said in my Decorate for Fall with Me video, I don't think I'm done decorating yet. I have a couple projects I want to add to our fall decor this year. Some DIYs, some thrift flips, things like that. So I'm going to take you along with me as I do a couple of easy DIYs to finish off fall for this year. Okay, so my first fall DIY is this pumpkin. I got this pumpkin a few years ago at Hobby Lobby. And at the time, I loved like the mixed metals, I loved the texture, and I still love those things, but it was so apparent to me when I did my Decorate for Fall with Me video that this stuck out like a sore thumb compared to the other decor that I have now, and I want to try to figure out how to reuse it. So I'm hoping that I can spray paint it to have a warmer tone and then be able to add some alcohol ink and just make it really rich, but like fit in with the rest of my decor, so that way I can keep using this pumpkin that I bought years ago. I don't care that this is perfectly taped because I'm not planning on doing like a full coat of coverage since I'll be going back and adding things with alcohol ink. But I do want to just get like a general coat and try not to get a lot of overspray on the really pretty burnt orange leaves. See, I think even that alone warmed it up some. And it's not perfect, but it's fine because we'll go back and add a lot of textures and tones with alcohol ink, like down the middle, and then to add some to the texture as well. We'll clean up the burnt orange. It'll be good. So we have a dry pumpkin now, and the color is definitely better. It's not as cold as it was before, but it still doesn't have like the warmth and the depth that I'm looking for. So we're gonna try to add some alcohol ink to it and see if we can get some of that depth, especially like in the ridges and the texture here. I actually have these back from when we did the powder room makeover, and I was gonna try to use them on like a faucet DIY. It did not go well. If you have not seen that video, you should go watch that after this. But long story short, I have these alcohol inks in my stash now, and I'm excited to try them finally and see if they will work. I'll make sure to link these in the description below. I just got the brown kit off of Amazon, and I think that they're going to come in handy for a lot more projects, especially like around Christmas time, so stay tuned for that. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is I actually had some areas where I had a little bit of overspray, which is fine. If I was more worried about it, I would have done a better job about taping it. But I'm just going through and trying to fix the color there to where it's not quite as noticeable before going in and adding all of the depth to the different like ridges of the pumpkin. So I went in with the color Spice because it was the most similar to like this rust color on the top, and it's actually doing a really good job layering and kind of getting it back to that rust color. So I'm very, very happy about that. By the way, alcohol ink dries very quickly because of the alcohol in it. So you kind of have to work fast, but it does blend out really easily. So yeah, just keep that in mind. It does kind of dry pretty quickly. Definitely recommend a sponge brush to do so because Otherwise you're gonna get it all over your fingers. I'm actually so impressed with how much more texture and depth it already has just from the one coat. Once we start mixing these different colors, like, it's gonna be stunning, I think. I'm excited about this now. Okay, so you see how this dried before I could get to it? If I just add more alcohol ink on top to kind of wet it again, it lets me have a little bit more movement with it and be able to spread it back out. Then I also would probably recommend having like a clean dry brush that you're not putting the ink on. That would just make it a little easier. But so far, it's pretty easy to work with. It's pretty forgiving. You just have to know that it's going to be kind of a messy and not exact process, but so far it's been pretty forgiving. I am so impressed with these alcohol inks. They added so much depth to this pumpkin I did not think was possible. I was not sure if I was even gonna like this pumpkin. I decided it'd be better than what it was before and I could like repurpose it. But I actually like this thing now. And I'm excited to style it. Let's go put it somewhere. The next fall project that I wanted to work on was making a fall wreath. I don't know if you remember, but I thrifted this wreath in my fall thrift with me video for, I think it was $2 or $3. And ever since then, I've wanted to kind of like add to it and make it like really full for fall. So I had some leftover burgundy eucalyptus and straw that I put aside when I was decorating specifically for this wreath. So I'm excited to see it kind of like all come together now. Looks cool now, but I think it's gonna look amazing. I have finished adding the eucalyptus and I kind of love how it is right now, even though I had intended to put the straw pieces on there, but I'm afraid it's going to start looking crafty, and I kind of just love the simplicity of this now. Kind of torn. Okay, so after playing around a little bit more, I figured out that if I folded the straw in half like this and shoved it into the wreath, I actually liked that look better, and it just adds volume and also another tone of color, which I really like. So I'm glad I kept playing around with it. The last thing I want to do is add these little pieces of eucalyptus. They're just a different shape, and they're also a slightly lighter color of purple, and I think that they're just going to add the final touch of texture and color for this wreath, which I'm getting really excited to hang up now. Okay, the last fall project that I want to work on is DIYing some art for this frame that I usually keep in my kitchen. I thrifted this because I thought the strawberries were super cute for summer. It's no longer summer, so I want to create a fall print to go in this frame for our kitchen. I think I really love the idea of doing like a moody floral. It's just my favorite. So I was kind of inspired by this print of these pressed flowers. I love how it's kind of long, and I was thinking it'd be fun to do a horizontal version. That's kind of delicate, but with some like green and white and maybe a touch of red. We'll see when we get there. But then doing a black background to make it really moody. So that's kind of my inspiration. And so let's see what we wind up with. How lucky is that? Perfect in there. Okay. Have our finished art print. So it's definitely very abstract because I'm not an artist, but it does have all of the moody colors that I wanted, and I definitely think that it has the vibe of the inspiration that we were going for. So I'm really happy with it, and I'm excited to see what it looks like all framed up in the kitchen. And I think that is it for fall for me. We thrifted for fall, we decorated for fall, we did some fall DIY projects, and I think I'm officially going to be done for this year. I hope that you enjoyed these videos, and if you did, please subscribe so that way you do not miss out on future videos from me, and I will see you next time. Bye!